Lies north of Kenya's main port of Mombasa. It is about 45 minutes by road and boat away from historic Lamu Island, which was used as a port by Arab traders from the 14th century and popular with tourists. Mpeketoni is also more than 3 hours' drive from the border with Somalia, where Kenya has troops fighting Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab militants. Authorities say many Mpeketoni residents had fled from the attack into the nearby forest. Police say no arrests have been made in connection with the attack so far. Witnesses in the town say they saw at least 6 bodies strewn on roads inside the town. 10 burnt-out vehicles were also seen in the area, and a Kenyan bank branch was gutted in the attack. 2 military helicopters flew over the town on Monday morning.
So far, the bodies which have managed to collect on the streets and which have already taken to our local mortuary are that of them. But there are still some more bodies lying on the way to Kibaoni and some still on the streets. And on the same, we are unable to identify, as at now we have not yet identified the little number of the casualties who might be in the other hotels which have already been burnt down.
For the latest, we are joined by our SABC East Africa correspondent in Nairobi, Kenya, Sarah Kamani. Sarah, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Sarah, take us through what exactly happened as far as you can gather.
Well, what we can say, and especially those of us who are far away from where it happened, is that at 8:30 we started seeing tweets coming from people who were in Mpeketoni. These first calls actually saying that they were under siege and that there were people shooting at them from outside hotels where they were watching television. And then it was news of hotels on fire. But what we can confirm, the attackers came in 3 vehicles, 2 minibus vans and 1 saloon car, and they started shooting at random. They stormed the police station, they set it on fire, they started shooting inside the town, and by the time they were leaving, 4 hours after the attack, more than 40 people lay dead. A lot of them were hiding in bushes and in some of them locked up in their houses. In fact, some of the people who were burnt beyond recognition were burnt inside a hotel in Mpeketoni.
Now, tell us about the town of Mpeketoni. We understand that it's just 3 hours away from the border with Somalia, where Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab militants are based.
Yes, it's also central because it is the one that feeds, so to speak, a touristic destination. Already remember the British and the US have issued a travel advisory against going to Mombasa. So this will be a hit for the Lamu Island because it is clear that a travel advisory will follow for Lamu following these attacks. But what is important also to say that the area has actually been a victim of banditry. It has been a victim of clashes over land. The police have come out to say that they believe this attack is consistent with what would happen with an Al-Shabaab. Saying the people who stormed the town were flying the Al-Shabaab flag, they were shouting at slogans, and they also actually attacked Mpeketoni, went to a nearby town about 10 kilometers away, and then came back again to Mpeketoni to celebrate the attack. Of course, there have been claims that Kenya would be a target of attack, especially during the World Cup.
Has anyone claimed responsibility for the attack?
Not yet. And government, through the military spokesman, Major Emmanuel Chuchi, they believe the attack was carried out by Al-Shabaab. We are still waiting for a press conference here in Nairobi. The Interior Ministry saying that it will issue a press conference anytime now. That has not happened. In fact, there has not been any official statement from the Kenyan government. Either the president, his deputy, or even the head of the police this morning has been very quiet. A lot of news focusing actually in downtown Mpeketoni.
Sarah, what steps has the Kenyan government taken to beef up security since the Nairobi mall attack last year, if any?
Well, what has happened is that the Kenyan government has carried out swoops in areas in Nairobi, in Mombasa, and northeastern provinces. And most of the targeted people have been Somali refugees who the Minister for Interior earlier, Joseph Olelense, pointed out that he believes some refugees are actually involved in the attacks. And so that is what has been happening. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta just recently recorded a television commercial calling on Kenyans to rally together, saying that security is a responsibility of everyone. everybody. But when you look at reactions today, a lot of people are very angry. They feel that the government has actually failed them. And it is important to note that this is the most deadly attack since Westgate, because as we are speaking now, there are some 48 people dead. By the time the Westgate attack was over, at least 76 people lay dead. So this is the closest that Kenya is coming to the Westgate attack.
That was our SABC East Africa correspondent in Nairobi in Kenya, Sarah Kiman.